So we're here in Yosemite National Park having dinner in front of El Cap, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about our family's experience with DuoLingo, an online website for a computer or an app for a phone where you can learn foreign languages, and kind of a competitor of them, LingoDeer. And all three of the kids have finished everything that LingoDeer has to offer for the German language. And so they've kind of all finished that, graduated. Now they're all doing DuoLingo. And so I'm gonna give you a few comments from my side, what I've seen in these two programs, good and bad, but then also let the kids explain it because maybe that's the perspective that matters most. So if that interests you, stick around. All right, so the first question is, on a scale of 1 to 4, how would you rate the two programs? 1 being I hate it, 2 being it's okay, 3 being it's pretty good, 4 being I love it. Okay, Paul, what would you say? How would you rate LingoDeer? 2. And how would you rate DuoLingo? 3. Okay, Bex?
Probably LingoDeer, I don't know, probably like a 1 or 2, and then DuoLingo probably 3 or 4.
Okay, see, give me all 4 answers. All right, Peter.
LingoDeer probably 2 and DuoLingo 4.
Okay, cool. So that's the first round. Next question is, what would you say is the main reason or 2 reasons that DuoLingo scores higher than LingoDeer? Like if you just had to, in a nutshell, what's like the main thing you like more? Go ahead, Paul. Nice and loud.
But one of the things about DuoLingo I like way more about LingoDeer is
Come closer.
that you get to like own XP and it motivates you more.
Okay, so in DuoLingo, real quick, so DuoLingo, you earn experience points, and what do those experience points do for you?
There's like when you begin, you're not in leaderboards, but when you get enough XP, you like go into leaderboards, and then you go up to a league once days have passed and you can go a no promotion goal.
Okay, so every week you accumulate XP experience points. Based on how many experience points you get a ranking in a league with other people who are playing DuoLingo somewhere else, right, in the world. And then you can graduate up or be demoted back down to different leagues like silver, like bronze, silver, and gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the main thing. What about you, Bex? What's the main difference why DuoLingo scores higher?
Well, one of the it's really fun. Like you can like create your own character, and it's really fun. Like you get like a daily streak, so you have to get days in a row, and you can like and one of the like probably the best thing, you have hearts. So if you have 1 heart and you lose that heart, like you don't get one of the lessons right.
Yep.
You have to be done with the lesson, and if you have 5, like you have anything you get wrong at the end, you have to redo.
Okay, so then a couple of things. So you said, first of all, you get to create your own character and make it a little more personal. Then you said you basically like it tracks like how many days you have done DuoLingo without missing, right? So it kind of keeps you motivated to like not miss a day, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is basically you said like every day you get a heart and you get 4 pieces to the heart, right? Is that how it works?
It's 5 hearts.
5 hearts. Okay, so basically
So
you
every
get
5 hours you get a heart.
Yeah, so basically every time you get something wrong in DuoLingo, you lose a heart. And once you learn 5 hearts, you can't even do it anymore, right?
Yep. But you
And-
can practice to earn more hearts,
Right.
buy more hearts, or wait for the next 5 hours to get more hearts.
So I found this surprising as a parent, is basically LingoDeer lets you make essentially an infinite amount of mistakes with basically no consequences, right?
And they don't even make you redo it.
Yeah, okay, so basically in LingoDeer, you get something wrong and you don't have to redo it and you can just keep getting things wrong and there's like kind of no consequence. DuoLingo is actually more strict in that sense where you have to really be motivated to not get even the smallest thing wrong, otherwise it costs you. And I find that interesting because you might expect that, more like lax, lenient rules would be preferred by kids. So, okay, Peter, what?
The only thing is
Nice and loud.
The only thing is LingoDeer, if you do a terrible job, like you almost get none right, you lose the lesson and you have to redo it. But that doesn't happen very often.
Okay, Petey, what would you add? I know some of the things they said are probably what you'd say as well.
Friends.
What's that?
You can follow people and they
Okay.
can follow you, and then you get you can send them XP boosts, which
Okay.
doubles the amount of XP you get. You can do friend quests, so like you have to get 90% or higher in like 90 lessons,
Okay.
and you have like 5 days to do that with your friend, like Rebecca and me, and then you get like rewards, which is really cool.
Okay, so there's like a social aspect, not only in the leaderboards, but also in like you can, like you've made contact with some friends back in Chattanooga.
Yep.
And then you can like do basically challenges together, even though you're learning German and he's learning Spanish, right?
Yep.
Okay, nice. Okay, so from my perspective as a parent, one big difference was that with LingoDeer, basically they did German like 1 and 2, and then it's over with. Like you basically can't keep going. And so how long would you say it took you to go through the entire LingoDeer curriculum from the day you started till today? Like 6 months?
If I had done it every single day, because like one time I had fallen behind for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
If I'd done it every single day, it's hard to guess. 2 lessons per day, maybe, 5 months.
Okay.
Maybe something like that.
So basically LingoDeer is, let's say like a 5-month curriculum, and DuoLingo,
It's like can be 2 years.
yeah, a couple years for sure. Like I know my uncle has been doing Dutch for like 2 straight years every day.
And on Leaderboard.
Nice and loud. Can't hear you.
And on Leaderboard, Peter saw someone who has a Day streak.
Yeah.
So,
They've been going for a whole year, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, one of the things I don't like, one of the problems with DuoLingo, luckily you don't have to do this, but you can do like you can buy like a free thing where you don't have to earn any hearts, you don't have to like do anything. It turns it into LingoDeer again.
So basically DuoLingo Premium, which you can pay for, you get an unlimited amount of chances every day. So I was learning Spanish and they gave me a free trial for that. And I found it very unmotivating because you begin to get sloppier with your work.
And something else like that makes it unfair to other players. I don't know if you can get there's these things called legendary. So once you finish something, you can go back and do it.
Yeah.
But you have to pay 125 gems, which in the game is a lot. And you can do that like 100 times for free, no gems costed.
Okay, so that's
so
in some ways, like actually less is more than like the constraint of having to pay for the legendary and the constraint of only 5 hearts per day really makes it more competitive. And then if you do the premium version, either for a free trial or by paying, then it kind of takes some of the competitive edge out of it, right? It's almost like playing dodgeball, but nothing happens when you get hit with a ball, right?
Yep.
All right, what else, Paul?
Another thing is like people like on leaderboards could say like you're cheating, like well like how is this person getting like this much XP every single day?
Yeah.
Like because it might be not fair, so like they might be in front all the time, like on every area.
Okay, yeah, good point. So from a parent's perspective, a couple things. So all of the kids were doing LingoDeer, and then my oldest son Peter finished LingoDeer first, and so he started doing DuoLingo, and he enjoyed it so much that the others became extremely motivated to finish the LingoDeer curriculum. Paul, how many lessons did you do in LingoDeer on that last day? Like 19 or something?
Like maybe 27 or 40.
Okay, so basically, Paul, like what we used to have the kids do 1 or 2 of a day, he did like almost 30 a couple days in a row because he's so motivated to go do DuoLingo. And that level of motivation is something we never saw with LingoDeer. And so as a parent, you know, like if you want your kids to learn a foreign language and they dread it, then obviously that's not as, it's not as good as something that they're excited to do. And so basically like the kids almost like beg us every day to find a place where they can do a hotspot and do their lesson. So in some ways the elephant in the room is that why didn't we just do DuoLingo from the beginning? So DuoLingo is basically free. The only ads I ever saw on DuoLingo are ads for the premium version of DuoLingo, right? Yep. And LingoDeer cost us, I don't remember the exact number, but we bought like 3 licenses because you couldn't just, basically we spent like close to $600 so that each of our kids could do LingoDeer. And there's basically just one simple reason for that. And that's because when I started doing DuoLingo, I got about 6 weeks in, and the stories started to include basically same-sex relationships. So there was like, you know, Maria and her wife, you know, Claudia, are going to the airport. And I was very angry because I was like kind of hooked on DuoLingo myself. I had been clipping away at Spanish, and and then like all of what I would call propaganda started creeping in, right? So we're followers of Jesus Christ. We believe that homosexuality is called out as a sin in the Bible. It's very clear. And so like when I talk to somebody about my faith, I'm very straightforward about it. I don't try and like sneak it in covertly. And I did some research on DuoLingo and found that they're very pro LGBTQ, and that's a stance they're obviously allowed to have. But I did not appreciate that they were like putting these, like sneaking these things in to the stories. Like if they want to promote that, then they should promote that. But I think they should do it in a transparent way. And I think that the way they did it was not transparent. And so I was very upset about that. I didn't want my 6-year-old at the time, you know, sort of reading about these things and seeing the normalization of these things. And so I chose to abandon what was the superior product, as far as I'm concerned, and the superior experience, and also the free experience for a paid one. And now my children are 8, 10, and 12. And as we travel, we see a lot of things that we don't agree with and we don't support. And we've had a lot of really good conversations. And so we have told the children, you know, that worldview about homosexuality, and we've shown them, you know, our view from the Bible. And ultimately the children will, as they grow, make their own decision about what's right and wrong and what's normal and abnormal. But they're now of an age where we think it sort of being in their life, like they're old enough to identify those narratives and that propaganda, again, as far as I'm concerned. So that would be kind of my only, I hate to say it, it would be my only positive for LingoDeer, is that in the entire curriculum, we didn't find them trying to preach or teach anything, you know, for religion, against religion, you know, anything. So I have a few more things to add from the kids' side, and then we'll wrap this up. From the kids.
Yep, so one other thing about DuoLingo is basically if you get like 1 or 2 words wrong, or like letters wrong in a word.
In spelling,
they don't actually like penalize you, but they do it in LingoDeer. Like if you get 1 letter wrong, they're like, sorry, you're out.
Yeah. Now in DuoLingo, they do let you know you got the spelling wrong, right?
Yep.
So they kind of say like,
redo it, show you how to do it.
Right.
And then you have to redo that again, I think.
It depends on the error.
Yeah.
I know like if you just misspell something like 1 or 2 letters, it's no big deal. But if you like totally botch the spelling, then it counts against you in DuoLingo.
Yep.
But LingoDeer is just wrong.
Yep.
Which felt a little unfair.
Yeah, and then there's 2 more things. So another one is in DuoLingo. In DuoLingo, they teach you there's like in German there's Urlaubs, I think. They're
Umlauts, yep.
They're like A, U, and something else.
O.
A, U, and O. And in German, they like give you below your spelling like those letters to click. And in LingoDeer, like you have to spell it with just normal letters, and you don't know when to put those in because you can't put it in
because you don't have a German keyboard.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then the last thing is, at least for me, the lessons in DuoLingo are shorter.
Yep.
Which gives you more motivation. So you're like, let's do a DuoLingo lesson, and then when you get it done, you get like, let's say in LingoDeer you got 2 lessons and you got 10 XP for each one.
Yep.
And in DuoLingo, 4 lessons and 5 XP for each.
Yeah.
DuoLingo feels better because like it's like you finish one, you get XP. You finish one, you get XP instead of like doing this long thing.
Okay, so the shorter lessons give you like kind of a more often a little sense of accomplishment, right?
Yep. And then the stories are also really cool. Like,
okay.
Stories, they help.
And the characters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the characters. Nice and loud.
Another thing is LingoDeer, like your day streak, it's like doesn't motivate you that much. Like you don't really care if you get a day streak on it. And then another thing is like on DuoLingo, like you were saying, like if you do like a word, like if you don't put an E at the end, they say good job. You don't, like sometimes I put an E at the end and it said good job, but we don't put E's at the end. So like next time you don't have to put an E at the end if you want.
Okay, nice. Cool. Anything to add, Bex?
And then one thing about LingoDeer that's also kind of fun is there's also stories, but then you don't have to like do anything in them. And the stories were kind of fun. Like every day when I was done with the circle, I'd like listen to the stories.
In LingoDeer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so in LingoDeer, the stories are like you listen to a person talk. In DuoLingo, you have to pay attention because like you do like
Right.
a bunch, and then you have to like if like they say a letter like
Right.
"Hallo, was ist dein Name?" and you have to like spell that
Okay.
or type it.
Got it. Nice. Okay, cool. And as a final feature, I'm gonna I'm gonna tack on the video clip from when Paul, in like an all-out German brawl streak, just blew through like 100 lessons in a few days, and the celebratory moment when we were in an Airbnb when he got to finish and start his DuoLingo.
A tiny house, and I was super cramped up.
Tiny house, super cramped, just like your mouth right now. Talking about food in your mouth. And there's El Cap. Have an awesome day, everybody. Take care. God bless. And learn a foreign language. Big celebration. Paulie just finished LingoDeer. He had like 70 lessons to do, and he's been like knocking out 12, 15 a day.
I did like 20 lessons today.
20?
I think so, at least.
Or maybe 30. Good job. LingoDeer, Deutsch, fertig. Good job. Congratulations, buddy. Oh, that means all of you guys are done with the entire LingoDeer curriculum. Moving on to DuoLingo. Good job.